Hello guys, it's Kene once again. Okay, so in this tutorial, I shall be teaching you how to use the if and the if else statement, right? And so how do we use it? First, we'll look at the syntax, the if and if else statement syntax, and also we look at some use cases. Now, suppose you have a condition that you wish to test, and based on the outcome of that condition, you want a particular statement to execute. Then you'd use the if or the if else statement, right? The if or the if else block, rather. So let me just go straight into it. Here I have three variables representing integers or having integers as values. And I want to make some tests. I want to test some conditions. And now, depending on the outcome, that is, if it is true or false, then I want a statement to execute. Now, let's see, guys. What's the syntax? To test the condition, I would use the if keyword. That's the if, like this. If and num1. If I should make this num2. If num2 divided by, guys, now that stands for division operator, divided by num1. Now, if the result is equal to, in Python and in many other programming languages, that is the ones that I know of, the equality operator is a pair of equal to signs. So that's equal to. If num2 divided by num1 is 0, now what should happen, guys? We'll see. Now I want you to take note of the colon here and the indentation that follows. So I'm not starting this at the beginning, so where the margin is 0. No, because if I were to do that, that will raise an error. Let's see, guys, just to test it, the need for indentation there. So print, I should just say A. So let me run my program here. We see that it raises an error, indentation error, expected an indented block. So that's the thing about Python. It makes use of indentations a lot, unlike in other languages such as PHP or Java, or even PHP or Java. You set off blocks using curly braces. So the statement part of the if-else block is set off using curly braces in many other languages, but not so in Python. In Python, we set off block scopes using indentation. All right, so I need to correct this. I'll just bring this, take it a tab away, just like this, a tab away. All right, so that's it. Now let's see, guys, what returns. Nothing. Now, why is it that there's nothing returned? Because this is going to check, it's going to test if this is true. Is this true? Is num2 divided by num1 equal to 0? Now what's num2? 40 divided by 20, that should be 2, not 0. So this returns false. Anything that comes here will only execute if the preceding condition is what? True. And so because the condition tested here returned false, then this cannot execute. So if I wanted the system to output something that the user can see, then I need the else block, right? So that's like this, the else. Now, if that fails, if the first condition fails, then just execute the second statement. So let me just say print B. Okay, so let's test it, guys, and we'll see. So we can see that num2 divided by num1, that is 40 divided by 20, is 2 and not 0. So that is false. And this code, this program here, or this statement here, will not execute. Instead, this will execute the else block. I hope you understand that, guys. All right. Now, there is this other keyword in Python, that is the elif. Well, I don't know why the creators of Python decided to use that word elif, but it's actually else, if. You know how we have, say, 3 periods in a day. So I can say, if it's morning, then say good morning. Else, if, so I'm testing a second condition, if the first one fails. Else, if it is afternoon, say good afternoon. Then else, say good night. So 2 conditions. First condition in the if block. The second condition in the else if, which in Python is elif. And then if that fails again, then we go to the third statement. Right, so that's it, guys. I'm going to use the elif. In this case now, the if is like at the same level as the elif. So I'm not going to indent. Indenting means that this is a kind of a sub-program of this test of a condition here, and the statement to execute should be indented. Now, if I want to test a second condition, I need to go back to the beginning, like on indent for my elif. Please, if you don't do that, an error will occur. So elif, and what's the condition I want to test? Now, this time I want to check if num2 modulus num1 is equal to 0. Now, what's this saying, guys? Now, here, the modulus operator is used to return the remainder after a division operation. What I'm saying is, if I have 40 divided by 2, 40 divided by 20, what's the remainder? There's no remainder because it's 2 remainder 0, right? So this will be true. This condition is true here. Num2 divided by num1 leaves no remainder. So remainder 0. Then this statement should execute. Print B, just like that. Now, it is not compulsory that I have the else statement, right? At the end, if I think that, oh, this will be true, then I don't need to have the else. No error will be raised. So let's see. So because what happens is that the program breaks at this point. It doesn't need to waste its time. That's what it's saying. That's what it's trying to tell us. If I have got a true value upon the test of a condition, I'll just execute what immediately follows and break. Now, there's nothing else to do. It doesn't have to keep checking and checking. Once it finds the first true condition, the first condition that is that returns true, then it's going to break after executing the statement associated with that condition. Okay. So now, what if the second condition returns false? That is, if it is not true. In this case, let me say not equal to, guys. So remember our operators. There's this video I did on operators in Python. So I advise that you get that video, watch it, so that you understand what operators are and what their uses are. So here we have the not equal to operator. Okay. So now here, num2, which is 40 divided by num1, which is 20. Is there a remainder? No remainder, right? No remainder. And I'm saying if what is returned here is 0, right? Because there's no remainder. And I'm saying if 0 is not equal to 0, if 0 is not equal to 0, come on guys, but 0 is equal to 0, right? So this condition is false here, returns false. 0 is equal to 0, because if I divide 40 by 20, that's going to be what? 2 with a remainder of 0. And I'm saying now 0 is not 0. No, 0 is 0. So this is false. So this program is not going to execute. So the first statement here will execute, and the second statement here will execute. And I haven't provided what should be done if the two conditions are not met, right? And that's why nothing will be printed. So I need to address that. All right, just address that by now bringing the else block there. And this time, what should happen? Print C. So I'm just going to put C there. So this fails, this fails, and this should happen because the two preceding conditions were not met. Okay, so now let's see. So that's why the C is returned. Now you can have as many elifs, as you wish. Of course, that may not be too nice. It could be more efficient ways instead of using a million elif blocks, right? So, but in this case, I just want to add one more elif block there, just to show us that it is possible. So num3 multiplied by 2 is equal to 50. Would that be true? Now num3 is 25. So this operation is performed here before it is tested. So this is result first. Num3, which is 25 times 2, 50. So is 50 equal to 50? Yeah, 50 is equal to 50. I must put the colon there. So that should be, say, print. Okay, let me make this C so that it progresses in alphabetical order there and D. All right. So guys, we see that it is this that should get printed. This condition fails. Num2 divided by num1 is not 0. Now this condition also fails. Num2 divided by num1 is 2 with a remainder of 0, right? So this is 0 that is returned here. And 0 is equal to 0. So, but this is saying 0 is not equal to 0. Only then should I run this program if 0 is not equal to 0. But I said that 0 is equal to 0. So this one here will not execute. That is this statement here. Then it's going to test this. It will come to the next scope there. Num3, which is 25 divided and multiplied by 2. Okay, is equal to 50. So 50 is equal to 50. Yeah, this will get printed. So it's not going to bother getting to this point, right? Yeah. So let's see now if C gets printed. Yeah, so C is printed there. I hope you understand, guys. Now, it is also possible to nest your if statements. So there's a concept called nested if statements, right? Now, suppose, let's just assume that, okay, since this condition returns true, is satisfied here. Now, what should happen? I still want to carry out further tests. Having got to this point and seen that this is true, so here should be the statement that gets executed. But I just don't want to execute something right away like a statement. I still need to carry out further tests, okay? So what do I do? Now I'm going to say, now guys, watch, I've just brought this down. The elif here is true. And it's at the same hierarchy, the same level as the if and the elif and the else. But I want to use if, which is like, just pardon me to say a child. An if statement that is a child of this elif here. And if it's a child, then it shouldn't start at the same point. as the parent. So I need the indentation. So I'm going to hit the tab. And now this shows, so my cursor is here now. And this shows that whatever program I'm going to put at this point is going to be a child of the elif. That is this elif here, right? So now let me test. I'm going to nest the if here. If num3 is greater than, should I say 30? Okay, should I say 20? If num3 is greater than 20. Now, you see again, guys, the statement for an if condition should be indented. So I want to get something to execute after testing this condition. So I need to indent it. So there's further indentation, right? So now let's see what gets printed. Now I'm at this point going to say print yes, it is greater than 20. Now I can also now nest the else. That will still be a child of this elif. So guys, let's look at the hierarchy there. Elif is the parent of this if condition. That is, this elif condition is the parent of this if condition. That's why this if is indented. Now, the else, which is also a child of the elif, this elif here, would also be indented, but not indented further. Because if I should indent it this way, that means else has become a child of this if. But I know that they are like siblings. They are like siblings. That's where I want to look at them. So this if and this else are like siblings. So they will start at the same, like they're like twins here. So they lie on the same, at the same level in terms of ranking. So I will have the colon. Then whatever statement that I wish executed should be indented. So this will be print, indented, and tell us no. So let me return this. So that's how you nest your if statements or your if else statements. So you can nest all those, right? Okay, so now let's see, guys, what do you think will get printed? So it's going to come here, 40 here, since num2 is 40, yeah, num2 is 40. 40 divided by 20, that's not 0. So it will skip this. Then it will test the second condition, second parent condition. Okay, so num2 divided by num1, what's the remainder? Remainder of 0, because 40 divided by 20 is 2 remainder 0. So there's a remainder of 0. 0 is returned after this operation, right? Now 0 is equal to 0, but I'm testing is whatever is returned here not equal to, that is when it will be true. If whatever is returned here, say 1, 1 is not equal to 0, only then should this get printed. But we see that after this operation here, 0 is returned. So I'm going to say 0 is not. 0 is 0, right? So 0 is 0, but that's not what I wish to check here. So this is going to get skipped. Then it will come to this point, elif, num3, which is 25. 25 multiplied by 2, that is what? 50. So 50 that is returned after this operation, 50 is equal to 50. That's true. So this gets executed. Whatever lies as a child here, the child scope of this elif will be considered. Now, the system gets to this point and realize that it still needs to test, carry out some further tests. And that's why I've nested this if-else block, within this elif block. So this if-else, I take it again, this if-else block is nested within this elif block. And that is why you have this indentation. So guys, let's get it. So now I'm going to test num3, which is 25. Is it greater than 20? Yeah, so 25 is greater than 20. So this returns true, right? And since it is true, this gets executed, this statement gets executed, and it will ignore every other thing afterwards. So guys, let's see. So that's yes. Now, what if num3 is, it just changes to less than 20. Num3 is less than 20. So what's num3? Num3 is 25, right? So 25 is not less than 20. So that's a false, right? And if it's false, then this will not get executed. The child statement of this if condition here will not get executed. So it will jump to the else here, and then it will ask, okay, so nothing to check again. So I'm just going to return what follows. And that's why no gets printed. Okay, so I hope you understand the if else and the else, statements. All right, so the other thing I want to talk about is the fact that you can use the logical operators in your if else block, right? Let's see. Let me just wipe this off. So that it doesn't get too cumbersome. Now I'm going to check num1. I should put the if here. If num1 is greater than 15, we already know that's true because 20 is greater than 15. And num2, which is 40 there, num2 divided by num1 is equal to, say, 3. So print, I should say, true. Now, guys, do you think I should have true returned when the program gets executed? Let's see. Now, nothing happens because this condition is not met. Let's look at true and true. True and true is true, logically. If A is true and B is true, then the result should be true. The outcome or the output should be true, right? If today is a Sunday, okay, so let me put it this way, guys. I have num1 here. Num1 is 20, and 20 is greater than 15, so true is held there. And then it tells the second condition, num2 divided by num1, guys, that's not 3, because 40 divided by 20 is 2, not 3. So true and false, let's look at the true and true here will be true. But the two conditions must be true for us to have true when we're using and, right? But what if I have true and false? Then it cannot be. It cannot be true anymore. True and false will be false. That's what it's going to be, guys. So let's say I am a male and I am 20 years. Now I ask someone to okay, I need a student who is a male and is 20 years. So I send someone to check, get me anyone who is a male and is 20 years. So he's going to go to the class and he's going to ask, ask the student there, are you male? True. Now, are you 20? True. Both conditions are met. So that particular student will be returned, will be, will be taken. But if it asks, are you male? True. And are you 20? No. You see that it's broken there now. I cannot bring that particular student will not be taken because the two conditions were not met. So that's the thing about the AND operator. The two conditions must be true, right? So since I have this as true, num1, which is 20, is greater than 15, but this is false. So true and false will be false. And you know, for this statement to execute, then everything here must return true. That is only when this should get executed, right? So I need the else. Print false. So the false scope is considered. That's why that's false, right? So you see the way I've used the and, the logical operator and there. Now I can also use the or. So let me have this here, or num2 modulus num1 is equal to 0. I'm going to test us, guys. What do you think it will be? Would it be true? Will it print true or print false? Let's see. Do you have your answers? Okay, so let's see, guys. So that's true. Now we're going to see why it is true, right? It tests this first condition here. Num1 is greater than 15, and you know num1 is 20, so 20 is greater than 15, true. It holds true. Then, and num2 divided by num1, that is 40 divided by 20, that's 2. And 2 is not equals to 3. So this is false here. Or then it checks num2 divided by num1. What's the remainder? Because modulus returns the remainder. Num2 is 40, 40 divided by 20. That's remainder 0. 2 remainder 0. So this here is true. So what do you guys think? True and false or true? Let's put it in a variable and let me call it check. And print check, guys. Just a moment. So we see. So what you guys see here, it returns true. Okay. So let's leave this error here. Check, blah, 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 true and false or true. Name error, name true is not defined. Let's just leave that. So you see that this is true. True is returned. Okay. Now, guys, what happens here is this. If this is true and this is false, it's going to come as false. True and false. So it's going to resolve it this way. True and false will be false, right? Then it takes the false and asks false, or then what do we have for this operation here, this condition here? Num2 divided by num1 leaves a remainder of what? 0. So this is true. You know, this here is false. True and false is false. Now, false or true? Now, let me test us, guys. False or true? What should it be? You know, now for all, you just need one to be true. Then everything is resolved to true. So false or true is true. So let's take the instance of getting the student who is male and is 20. So the student is asked, are you male? Now this time it's a girl. A girl is being asked the question, are you male? The student says no, so that's false. And then the person asks, but are you 20? The girl says yes. Okay, so you've satisfied the second condition, which is that the student must be 20. Now, if either is true, then true is taken. So the girl has satisfied one of the conditions and the girl is picked. She doesn't have to satisfy both conditions. So that is why false or true is true. So you see, guys, since it is true for this, then everything here will be true. So that is why true will be returned. Do you guys get? Okay, so now let's see. So that's why I have true there, okay? I hope you understand. All right, so that's how to show that, oh, you can use the logical operators and or in your if-else statements. Now, guys, what do you think will happen here? I'm not adding a statement after a condition is tested. So what will be the output? It says here, syntax error, unexpected, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so why is that? Now, guys, there must be a statement to execute after a test of a condition, right? And if not, nothing is provided, then an error will be raised. But if I just, for any reason, I can't think of any now, if for any reason I don't just want anything executed afterwards, I will just use the keyword pass. Somebody will use the keyword, and that has to be indented because, you know, this statement here is like a child of this if condition, right? Okay, so let's see if there's going to be an error again. Nothing. So nothing gets executed. It's simply saying, oh, just ignore this, man. Just ignore this error, right? Okay, guys, I hope we've learned something about the if and the else if and the elif. Thank you, guys. I'll see you some other time. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And please do make time to visit my website. There you'll find lots and lots and lots of resources on, you know, Python. If you're a beginner, other videos, you find videos that will suit your needs. And if you have some knowledge of Python, there are problem-solving videos that you can use to actually hone your skills in the use of Python. And that site is www.thetutoraid.com.ng, specifically Python.php. All right, so thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.